Yeah, right. SpaceMiner probably. Rob Gucci.
Yeah, those are top 2 seeds. No, sorry, Devin's 2, 3.
Devin, SpaceMiner, Rob Gucci. Maybe Quentin based off of last week.
Smart. All right, we have PS2 here for winners finals. Battling for that winner's side spot in grand finals is Rob Gucci and SpaceMiner. We're getting kicked off here.
I think probably I think this is going to be a slower matchup, you know. Toon Link versus Snake. You know, it's like projectile heavy.
Yeah.
It's actually very fun to watch this sort of thing, like just them going at it with projectiles, you know.
Yeah.
Like seeing like how many projectiles we can get on the screen, you know.
I personally, even as a spectator, enjoy the puzzleness that projectiles create for the competitors.
Right.
How does Snake get around Link's or Toon Link's 2 projectiles versus Snake's really just 1 in this matchup? Well, 2, I mean, if you count Nikita off stage, but it's a layer that gets my brain moving, and hopefully a lot of our spectators today appreciate it as well, because we're going to see it.
I think Rob was looking for a sort of a tether recovery, right? From Toon Link when he threw out the Nikita. He didn't get it. SpaceMiner did recover rather well.
Oh, the grenade actually saving Rob Gucci. C4 on the left side there, gonna blow up, but now C4 set down at 538. Gonna be around 506-ish that it blows up if Rob Gucci doesn't blow it up.
Oh, very good up tilt.
Well, that's a dead Toon Link.
I think SpaceMiner tried to grab, but he got up tilted.
Got up tilted, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dropping the Nikita right there at the very top of the blast zone. And this is where Snake really just kind of thrives, right?
Right.
You can chip away with your grenades. You have so many just active and quick hitboxes, honestly. And still gonna live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forward tilt. That forward tilt's very good. I think. I don't know. It's just not. I think people talk about it. It's just the character's not very popular, right? So people don't really talk about it too much. But people know about that forward tilt. That forward tilt is like hits behind him, in front of him, above him.
Yeah, it's the behind hitbox that always gets me, because we've even seen it earlier tonight where SpaceMiner has positioned himself perfectly, even just in front of roll distance a little bit, knowing that SpaceMiner is going to get the back hit of the Toon Link forward tilt. Holding that arrow just a little bit longer there. And as we said, this is a battle of the B button matchup.
Right. I think right now, Rob's been looking for a way to get back in. SpaceMiner's just not letting him in, you know?
Would you?
No, absolutely not. But Rob is just looking. Oh, now
Whoa!
he's in.
That is pizzas at the door DI. Definitely looking a little bit shaky there, and now Rob Gucci going to be up 100 and just kidding. Now on his last stock here, game 1. Both players down to their last stocks here, game 1. Rob Gucci with a little bit of the percentage lead, maybe not for long.
No, okay, now SpaceMiner's sort of treating Rob like a vampire, you know, don't let him in without permission.
Yep. And try not to look at the reflection of him in the back of PS2, because you won't see it.
Yep.
Ooh, great arrow there. Oh my gosh! SpaceMiner just a little... I know he actually wanted Rob Gucci there, but instead going to be eating Nikita to the face. And SpaceMiner laughing, knowing that was a bad jump there. Just knowing that was bad.
Oh, it looks like Mindset Turtle's off stream.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I understand that. Eric, or Mindset RTO, does have to wake up early every single day. And like I said, he's TOing this tournament. He's been here since 6 o'clock. I know our venue pays. I know our venue pays our TOs, so. Hey, Carlos, can you close our door, please?
Carlos, are we playing?
3, 2, 1.
Awesome, thank you, Carlos. All right, Nitrox was pulled off for grand finals of amateur bracket. So it is just me, BFP again. Solo commentating. This time our winners finals and production, by the way. It still says winners quarters at the very top, just to let you know. We did see Rob Gucci win that game 1. So we saw it with the Nikita here, and we see the early lead for our first stock here, game 2. SpaceMiner already up to almost 100% to Rob Gucci's barely 30%. Ooh. No, this is winners finals. This is winners finals production. This is winners. Oh, if you are Rob Gucci right here, you need to take the stock. No fooling around here. Just take the stock. Do what you can. Don't let SpaceMiner get any advantage state. It is not worth it in this moment. Just do the snake things if you're Rob Gucci. Kind of like how in, if any of you are familiar with the movie Benchwarmers, but also this is also a reference to another movie, but if Snake builds his house with grenades under a platform, almost every player will come, at least all of the not-so-great players. So Snake's going to be all about building those houses with grenades. And oh my goodness, honestly, SpaceMiner doing a fantastic job of getting Rob Gucci up to kill percent. However, speaking of kill percent, Snake gonna lay you down to the ground and give you a DOS boot. For those in chat that might not know, when Snake grabs you and you are above 160%, give or take some rage, then you will die to an up tilt every time. But if a Toon Link is standing there on the ledge expecting your neutral get up, they're gonna up you every time, and you are gonna go right off the blast zone there. SpaceMiner taking Rob Gucci's first stock there. Really not too much of insurance. In fact, actually getting the lead just to lose it again is SpaceMiner. But a pretty even second stock from both competitors here. Rob Gucci in the corner now. Never want to be in the corner against a ledge trapper and a zoner such as Toon Link. However, the grenades on the ground are going to save you if you're Snake. And this is what we're going to see from this matchup. We are going to see the bombs. We're going to see the arrows. We're going to see the boomerangs from Toon Link. We're going to see the B button from Snake. And we are going to see one of these players make winner's side grand finals. Ooh, oh, not going for the bomb up air. I wonder if that was just not true there. However, we are going to see DOS boot again. Rob Gucci going to be taking SpaceMiner's second stock there. However, SpaceMiner responding right back with the forward tilt we were talking about earlier. Both competitors here on their last stock, game 2. C4 on the right side of the stage, now blown up. C4 nowhere to be found. Oh, SpaceMiner kind of following up Snake's disadvantage stage. C4 on the left platform. It'll blow up around 258. If Rob Gucci doesn't blow it up. Oh, God, early. Okay, we see the grenade into neutral air, and we see a young Link with a nice percentage. Here's what we've been seeing in this neutral for this matchup. Time and time again, we're going to see who gets their neutral win with their B button and who gets the stock. Because this could be, and it could really decide a lot of momentum in this set. SpaceMiner already on a counter pick. Rob Gucci, notoriously all night, winning on his opponent's counter picks. Ooh, that Nikita getting close. Oh, SpaceMiner. It looked like SpaceMiner definitely could have taken something. Oh, using the bomb as smoke screen like I talked about before. The grenade blowing up. This is nervousness from SpaceMiner. Maybe losing track of the C4 there on the left side of the screen. And now, as we've seen all evening, Rob Gucci winning on his opponent's counter pick. Excellent job from Rob Gucci. SpaceMiner says, nope, I've got this. I'm running it right back to PS2. And I'm hopefully going to beat you, Rob Gucci. I'm hopefully going to beat you. All right. However, with both competitors being in winners finals now, as we have seen with the losers of winners bracket so far all night and every double elimination bracket ever, one of these talented competitors will drop into the losers bracket, into losers finals, guaranteed third place tonight. SpaceMiner on his winner's side game. I love the sticky. I love the sticky from Rob Gucci. This is Nikita. Ooh, gonna miss it though. SpaceMiner gonna get out of the corner, regain center stage, but immediately gonna lose it to the snake forward tilt. And now gotta avoid Nikita and a C4 on the corner, but going to avoid everything that Rob Gucci has thrown. SpaceMiner actually being very impressive here in the corner. Avoiding the snake stuff and getting the reversal. SpaceMiner still got a lot of fight left in him. However, gonna be jumping in on that up tilt. You can't be doing that against that DLC move. You know better, SpaceMiner. You know better. All right, the grab. Waiting for the defensive option, but Rob Gucci not gonna give him one. So, SpaceMiner not gonna be able to convert too much. However, Rob Gucci's like, hey, Michael Bay movie, extraordinaire, explosions everywhere. Let me do 65. But SpaceMiner now in center stage, resetting the neutral in this matchup, trying to give all of these projectile traps to Snake. However, Snake in one click of this B button going to be able to blow up C4, do about 25% right back to SpaceMiner. SpaceMiner not caring, going right back to center stage to set up some stage control. Oh, C4 in the center of PS2 right now. SpaceMiner's got to be very weary. Almost getting hit by it there. Whoa! We were talking about pizzas at the door, DI earlier. We see it there from Rob Gucci. Not necessarily should have died there. But if you're SpaceMiner, you take it, absolutely. Because right now, SpaceMiner's built up about 55% on Rob Gucci on his last stock. SpaceMiner's sitting pretty at about 100% on his second stock. Ooh, Rob Gucci wanted an empty hop there into something. Snake! And this is an, oh no! SpaceMiner missing the jab lock. Gonna get the third jab out instead of the smash attack. Just being a little bit too fast with the A button. And he's got to be careful here. He doesn't want that to be the end of the set. Rob Gucci recovering high. Gonna be able to land. Gonna be able to get the back air there. All right, Rob Gucci here at 120%. Day one snake stuff. Oh, whoo. SpaceMiner gonna shield the grenade, the day one snake stuff. Only gonna escape the corner, eating a neutral air. And that, once again, looks like a second pizza's at the door with that DI. Rob Gucci losing 2 of his stocks there to not quite the best directional influence there. You wonder what could have been with correct DI. However, we are going to see, it is going to grant us the opportunity in this winner's finals to have a game 4. And hopefully SpaceMiner can ride this momentum. If you can take a game, you can take a set. It is possible. Going to small battlefield. A biplat against Snake. I don't know if you leave this one open. Trying to think of what band SpaceMiner would have done. Definitely PS2. Battlefield and Kalos, maybe? Either way, we're going to see this game 4 on small battlefield. Rob Gucci down a little bit in percentage right now, but not too much. We're back to this B button extravaganza between our competitors. Or a B button bonanza. Ooh, and smart of SpaceMiner to jump. Avoid that C4. Now you're in an edge guard / ledge trap situation. And that's a dead Snake. And SpaceMiner not taking too much damage here. Only at 74% on his first stock. Now at 105%. Rob Gucci 0% on his second stock. No, you can't punish that with up tilt, Rob Gucci. That is on a live Toon link, and here's where Nikita comes out. Z dropped the bomb. Oh, not gonna get a chance to. The bomb gonna be blowing up in Rob Gucci's hand and gonna be eating like 50% for that. Just kidding, gonna be eating an entire stock, it seemed. Rob Gucci on his last stock here, game 4. SpaceMiner 124% on his first stock. Oh my goodness. We are going to see, we're potentially going to see a 3-stock here at game 4, which lines us up for another, our second game 5 of tonight, potentially. Oh man, Rob Gucci, you are at 105% right now on your last stock, and there goes SpaceMiner's first stock. This is, this might not be Everest to climb if you're Snake, but this is like Kilimanjaro. This is quite the mountain to climb. It is Snake. It is possible. Unlikely, however. SpaceMiner doing an excellent job of riding the momentum from our last game. Kind of putting a stamp on this game 4. Kind of saying, hey, I'm here. I'm not done. You might have been up 2-0, but who do you think you are? Oh! And SpaceMiner hits Rob Gucci with the who do you think you are? I am. Shout out to Pete Weber. All right, we have a game 5 here in Winners Finals. Here at SmashLAN'd number 241. Yeah, I don't go back to small battlefield if I am Rob Gucci. Do not mind the PS2 pick here. We've heard the trope before. Snake's good at PS2. There are several characters where they kind of have that trope where they're good on PS2. Snake being one of them, Donkey Kong being another. So hopefully we start to see that here in game 5. One of these competitors, as I said, will be dropping down into losers finals. We just have 3 stocks to see who. And we're gonna see SpaceMiner with an early lead after the first 20 seconds. We all know the first 20 seconds doesn't decide a Smash set, but if SpaceMiner can ride this momentum from game number 3, we're in for a treat then. Okay, good forward tilt from Rob Gucci. Great back air, no resources coming from Toon Link. Oh no, Rob Gucci could have edge guarded so much better. Unfortunately speaking though, SpaceMiner gonna find his way back to center stage. And now we play the B-Button Bonanza game. However, SpaceMiner gonna have the wrong DI on that up tilt. Rob Gucci is going to take this first stock here in game 5 of our winners finals here at SmashLAN'd 241. Let's see what insurance Rob Gucci gets. Yeah, anything is good for Rob Gucci right now. SpaceMiner does not want to get touched. SpaceMiner wants to be doing the damage here and doing it quite successfully. There has been kind of an unanswered about 50% from SpaceMiner over the past about 20 seconds or so. As we've seen all evening, A-OK, like I said, playing the B-Button Bonanza game. Gonna be getting the aerial right there. Not taking a lot of damage either. SpaceMiner happy about that one. Rob Gucci not too happy to see his first stock disappear. And happy to, not happy to have no resources here. C4 on the right side of the right side platform. Snake setting up his little traps. Oh, missing the re-grab is Rob Gucci. Good roll away though. Not gonna worry about the boomerang. SpaceMiner is just saying, hey, I want to hit you with something here. Please give me a bomb. Please give me a boomerang, Rob Gucci. Rob Gucci's like, I'll give you Nikita. Ooh, C4 right platform now. Put down at around 428. And this is where we've seen a majority of our neutral. One or two of these characters just chucking their projectiles right at each other. Ooh, and we're actually going to see SpaceMiner follow Rob Gucci there. Rob Gucci might have been able to get that grenade out, but SpaceMiner gets the aerial, taking Rob Gucci's second stock. And in the corner here. Could be deadly. SpaceMiner going to live the snake forward tilt, where Rob Gucci would argue it is Snake's worst tilt. But SpaceMiner sitting here at 134% on his second stock. Rob Gucci sitting at 28% on his last stock. Rob Gucci on his winner side stock here, and it is fading. Oh no, a quick unanswered 40% from SpaceMiner. Rob Gucci now sitting around 80%. SpaceMiner still on his second stock. There's gonna be the up tilt. All right, Rob Gucci shaking his head. Gonna be down almost 100%. Gotta be careful of his own C4. It should blow up here in the next about 10, 15 seconds. He's gonna blow it up there. Make sure he doesn't run into that situation. Woo, okay, all right, you have a Toon Link here now in the corner. Ooh, great high recovery from Rob Gucci. A little bit questionable of an air dodge, but gonna land. If I'm SpaceMiner here, I'm going right back to my B buttons. Oh no, that was a conversion! Oh, Rob Gucci tried to stick SpaceMiner here, but wow. SpaceMiner now sitting at around 80%. Rob Gucci at 133. This is game 5! However, SpaceMiner gonna come in with the up smash. Gonna take our winner's final set, moving on into winner's side grand finals as our #1 seed.